Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to our Mark II Focus RS. Quick update, boot's been painted, side skirt has been fixed and painted, wheels have been straightened and refurbished and painted. We've had a new bonnet and vents that have been painted. We've had a new grille that's been painted. And the seat's been fixed, but obviously not painted. So there's quite a lot done there, but there's still absolutely tons to do. And next up is a job I have not been looking forward to. Now, if you've kept an eye on our socials and Saving Salvage's socials, you'll have seen that the Ford Focus RS tax is absolutely no joke. And these wheel arch linings are no different. A replacement one of these right there is over £600. Since when was plastic worth more than gold? Obviously, I'm throwing this one about because it's seen better days. That shouldn't be a hole there. But when I went online and had a look for a replacement, I panicked. When I saw the price, I panicked, I'll be honest. But there may yet be a glimmer of hope because a friend of the channel's who has a Mark II Focus RS said, Ben, don't panic, mate. They're just 1.5 Focus ST wheel arch liners riveted together. Now that, to me, is absolutely bonkers. But when you look, he ain't lying. So instead of spending over £600 for a new arch liner, I'm going to attempt to make a £600 arch liner out of two that cost 140 quid. Now I know what you're going to ask, Ben, have you done anything this technical before? Well, no is the answer. I'm going to have to do some digging into my ever-growing collection of certificates. Now what I think I'm going to try and do first is unattach all of these bits, get rid of all these rivets, try and use the original pieces as a template, although there are bits missing, and go from there. Well, I've got to say, I've definitely lost count of the amount of cable ties this car had on it. And I'm not surprised with this, to be fair, because it's 600 odd quid for one. By the way, that's not for four, that is for one. I might have said this about 1,000,000 times now, but it's blown my mind. I'm not surprised, it looks like a drift car. That's what they all look like. I was going to try and start measuring from edge to edge and different bits, but obviously because they're made of plastic and they move around, the measurements are different all the time. But what I have done is I've looked at this, and you can see the crease in this here, and where obviously that comes down to here, I think. Obviously it's difficult to see because it's dirty as well. But there's like a crease in the plastic. And obviously if you look in the new one, you see where the crease comes down quite clearly. So if I can try and get it so that obviously this bit here matches where I'm cutting on that bit there, so on and so forth, right the way around. Because if I literally just lay one over the top of the other, it moves it out ever so slightly because obviously the mould, it's one sat inside the other, it's not perfect. So that is a very long-winded way of saying I'm about to wing this. Break time and a perfect opportunity to check out today's sponsor, Readly. And for those of you who don't know, Readly is an online magazine subscription service. Now when I've got 10 minutes spare, I like to make myself a brew and have a read through some of my favourite magazines on my Readly app. Now the other day, a magazine caught my eye. Autocar, 24 new Audis, you know me, I was straight there. But I ran out of time, I couldn't read it all, so I bookmarked exactly where I was, and I can go back to it now and carry on reading the article whilst I have my brew. One of the best features by far is being able to download the magazines that you want to read, just in case you're worried you might not have signal or internet wherever you may go. Easy, go over to your content, downloads, and you can pick up exactly where you left off. Not only that, you can add multiple different profiles to one account, so if your missus or your partner or your mum and dad enjoy reading different magazines, different content, then they're not going to mess up your recommendations, they'll have their own on their own profile. Absolutely perfect. Adding a new profile is dead easy, just hit the 3 lines in the top left hand corner, add profile, add your details in there, gender, year of birth, and Leroy has got himself a new profile. So if, like me, you travel around a lot, you'd rather not be lugging loads of heavy magazines around with you, then this is definitely the service for you. Hit the link in the description, 2 months completely free, cancel anytime. Now back to the Graft. So now I've sort of scored with the Stanley knife exactly where I think it needs to go. And obviously it misses this bit because we add that bit on with the extra bit we put on. I'm going to get the axe saw and hopefully get a nice clean cut. Right, scrap that, I've had enough of the axe saw, it's going to take me ages. So I've got the angle grinder. I have got to be honest, a bit of a confession, I've never used one of these before in my life. So I've Googled and YouTubed and made sure that I've got it set up properly with a guard on. I'm going to find some spectacles now and I'm going to whiz through it. So far so good, but what I have got to say is, because this is shaped like that and it's a pain in the arse, it's just really awkward to sort of make sure that I'm not going to get anywhere near my cables or that, or the plug or anything else. So, because I can't really clamp it down or keep it still anywhere, I'm muddling my way through it, but it's definitely faster than trying to hacksaw it. And obviously once I've done as well, I'm going to sand off the, you know, the edges just to tidy it up a little bit, but we're getting there. There we go, hopefully one fairly cut to size arch liner. I mean, obviously I know it's rough around the edges, and I had an idea that the angle grinder was going to start melting it, but I made sure I cut away from the line that I needed just in case it did melt, and obviously I've got to sand it down and just tidy the edges up anyway. But otherwise, there you go, angle grinding certificate completed. I need to do the extension piece, which is this piece. The only annoying thing with that is it ain't complete, but if I can somehow get it on top of there and then draw around the line, fingers crossed I can sort of guesstimate it to the end as well. Now the other issue and fiddly bit is, you see this extra sort of strip here that's been riveted on? Well, that is to get, obviously this is the other side, but that is to get rid of, that there. So it looks like they've come just straight down here, chopped that bit off, followed that line, and then just obviously riveted a piece on. Bearing in mind, right, this was all from factory. That there, that absolute riveted wheel arch lining bodge is from the Ford factory. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that the Mark II Focus RS was made in Germany. What I've decided to do is, because this little piece is actually still in one piece, I should say, and obviously that was originally attached to there, you can see how this is there and obviously where that was missing. But I'm just going to use this piece, I think. I've marked out where the hole should be, obviously through there over the top, so that should rivet into that piece, cover that gap nice and flat. Now I know what you're going to say, apart from the fact that I look stupid in these glasses, but you're going to say, Ben, is it really worth all that effort messing about for the wheel arch liner? And the answer's probably no, but I'm learning and you lot are entertained, hopefully. That's all the notches cut in now, or the grooves, whatever you want to call them, because obviously these overlap one after the other after the other. But you see on the factory ones where they went a little bit too far, and obviously there's a gap, and then there's a little gap there as well. I sort of went in between, so where that's gone a little bit too far and that's a little bit under, or it's probably bang on, I just went a tiny bit further, so hopefully the gap is a little bit smaller. That's kind of saying that my work is going to be better. I very much doubt it, but if it does the job and it saved us, what's that, over 500 quid, can't argue with that. That is probably what it should look like, but once it's on the car, does it then fit? That's probably the question. So I've come up with a bit of an idea. It might be rubbish, might be okay. But what I'm probably going to do is fit this section of the wheel arch to the car first, and then I'm going to try and fit this to that, bolt it into place, and then maybe use this and mark out the holes as to where the rivets need to go, rather than riveting this all together now, then trying to fit it on the car, realising I've put the rivets in the wrong place, and I've ruined it. But before I do any of that, I've had a delivery. That was a big box for 2 fog lights. So even for me, it's pretty obvious that I need to fit these before the arch liner. So you can see the fog's on and the surround for the fog and the washer cover thing. I'm struggling with this to get these on because you can see here it's been years of glue and probably filler and all kinds of shite, so I can't get this to sit in right. So I'm going to take that to the body shop because the bits are quite expensive. I don't want them to fall out. I also would rather not glue them on, but it looks like we probably won't have any choice. I think I've had another great idea. I'm going to jib the rivets off. Now I know they're a more permanent thing. Obviously, as you can see, the factory ones, they're like plastic rivets. And I don't have them, and also I don't have time to be messing about now with these plastic rivets and waiting for plastic rivets to come with the rivet gun and all that kind of stuff. So instead, I'm going to use my box of tricks. Remember in a previous video I said to you guys that this was probably one of the best purchases I've ever made. Well, I've just had a look now, and I've tried one of these little push clips in here into this bit here, just as a tester. And in my opinion as well, it's loads neater. Look how that blends in. And honestly, I have tried to get this off here and it ain't coming off. So I reckon, obviously it needs to go the other way around because that's going to be the inside of the arch, that'll be the neat bit, so I'll have to push it through that way. But that, in my opinion, it ain't coming off. It's not like it's a moving part. Once it's actually on the arch, it's not going anywhere. It doesn't move. So I'm going to go with that. And I think it'd be neater as well having a plastic, just a plastic disc there that goes through. I think it'd be nice better. So there's my idea in action. Obviously you can see the plastic clips that are pushed through. Obviously that side you're going to be able to see them pop through, but there's plenty of room behind the arch liner anyway. But what do you guys think? Is that a complete and utter bodge, or does it actually look like it could do the exact same job as a £664 arch liner down there? New arch liner in. I put a few extra clips on those bits there just in case they flap down and the tyre catches them, but otherwise it looks mint. Do you know what? I'm actually really made up with myself there. I'm proud that I've managed to save ourselves 500 notes. Next up is back to the body shop because I need Sean to help me fit the little plastic trims that go underneath the headlights. I've just spoken to Sean and I think we've decided that we're going to just glue them on, which isn't ideal because you do have clips. It's the only way of making sure that, one, they don't get stolen too easy, because that was £90 plus VAT for that one piece of black plastic, and that was a deal as well, by the way. And there we have it. The Mark II Focus RS cosmetically is complete. There's still a tiny few little niggles, stuff like this that needs sorting out. Obviously that's broken, we need a new one of them, which is fine, we can sort that, no danger. But otherwise, she's looking mega. We'll get the engine checked out and tuned at Collins Performance, and we're also going to do the brakes. I'll probably do them. I do need to get the calipers refurbished because they are awful, but the discs and the pads I can definitely do myself. If you've enjoyed today's video, thank you very much for watching. Please do consider liking and subscribing, it does help massively. And I'll see you on the next one, hopefully very soon.